Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back at it again in Journey. This episode is being recorded directly after the previous one, so I do apologize if you had questions or something came up in the comments and I wasn't able to get to it. But we're going to continue on now. And clip through the staircase a little bit there, I guess. Oh, okay, cool. Are they showing me where to go? Or are they actually just transitioning me to the next area? That could be interesting as well. I hope you guys are having a great day. Like I said, for me, I know this is directly after recording the previous episode, so hopefully the settings were okay and everything. But for you, I know it's been a couple days. Oh, wow, look at that sand. Oh, nice little downhill skiing segment. This is cool. I would describe this feeling as childlike joy and wonder, which has kind of been my experience thus far with the game. Is there's a lot of sensation. Maybe there's not a lot mechanically going on, or even visually up to this point. I think it's been pretty. I think it would be safe to or fair to say it's been a little drab recently, but with this. It's been pretty cool so far. A good start to the episode, that's for sure. Oh man, we gotta slide through the sand. Nice. So they're doing well with the fixed camera angle aspect. Of continuing to show off their impressive landscape design as well as push you forward towards the next part of the game. And the lighting and the particles on this, I know it's probably just a texture, not individual particles, but that's impressive looking nonetheless. Let's try and slalom through these pillars. Very reminiscent of Corneria and Star Fox 64, which I can dig. And I'm already seeing that there's multiple paths you could be taking through this area, which is cool. There's probably some secrets hidden, in places you wouldn't normally think to look. So that's part of it, I think, is encouraging that replay experience, especially since this is a game very much based on a feeling and, it's a full package experience, I guess. Oh, bonked. Double bonked into the pillar. Didn't throw off the momentum too much, I guess. It's good. Getting into some orangier golden hues now, which I'm definitely a fan of. Yeah, the sunlight reflection on these particles, very cool. Oh, very nice. Kind of a fixed camera angle beside my character, showing our ultimate goal, but also showing that sun. I guess it's either setting or starting to rise as we continue our journey here, which is very cool. Impressive. And we can see all the little carpet friends kind of moving towards that Colosseum looking area, I guess. Just continuing along. Getting back into our pinkier hues. I hope stuff like this doesn't lose its charm on repeated playthroughs. I'm not sure if it would. I feel like I would probably, maybe not an immediate playthrough again after I complete this experience, but on repeated playthroughs after a little bit of time, I feel like this would still be... I would still have the same level of awe. Oh! A shift. A literal shift. A tonal shift. A color shift. A musical shift. All coinciding. Interesting. Now we have a complete absence of music, which is almost as effective, if not more effective, in my opinion, than having music. Certain music, during a boss fight or something like that, an intense moment can really amp up the stakes, but a lack of music can have, a similar effect. It's just got to execute it properly. So I can really appreciate that. Oh no, you look concerned. You're no longer looking directly at us, so maybe some level of embarrassment or shame. Okay, so then carpet friends started to disappear, I guess. And we can see the lights wavering in the towers. I don't think those... Oh, and then they're fighting over them and breaking them. I don't think those lights are meant to be literal. I don't think they are a power source, per se. It may just be symbolic of enlightenment, which is interesting. And what do we have here? Battles, it looks like. Yes, stormy clouds in the background. Those eyes seem to be destroying that tower at the very bottom, so almost a allegory, I guess, for resource wars. Interesting. It's very interesting to go from that light pink to the, you know, the gold, and now to this murky green. This green-blue, I guess. And fading into darkness, as opposed to fading into light, which I think previously happened. I could be wrong, but... Yes, there's something certainly more ominous about this. And again, like, the soundtrack is a big part of that, but, you know, just from the visuals alone and the, you know, the shift in the storytelling, even though we don't have the actual words for it, oh, there's a friend. Interesting. I like that realization. You can almost feel it, where the other player character realizes, oh, there's somebody else here, and then you kind of share that mutual, you know, that moment where you both kind of come together. And even though, you know, there's no true words to it or anything, there's no direct communication, even less so than, I think, you know, something like Dark Souls, where you have fixed messages you can send. Even then, it's very... Hello, friends. It's a very human reaction, even though you can't really see it. We have sand trickling down. So this is maybe not so much intimidating as it's supposed to be just solemn, especially with the shift in the story itself. And these guys almost seem to be running away from me now, which is interesting. Why are you swimming away? And again, with the light shafts coming down in the blue tones and the way these guys are swimming around, you can definitely get the feeling of, oh, this is, you know, this is kind of reminiscent of underwater. Interesting. And as I say that, we have this almost seaweed-looking tapestry flying up to, or, you know, pointing up towards the sky, and the little movements there. Yeah, this is very clearly, like, this isn't just an interpretation. This is very clearly supposed to be reminiscent. You can see the floating particle effects that kind of simulate underwater. I mean, honestly, if I hadn't experienced the transition down here, I would have assumed we're underwater at this point. Where did our friend go? So we're here playing in the seaweed. I wonder if there's any incentive or anything to light all these up. Oh, there's a nice little piece of friend in here. How to get in there? Oh, okay, cool. I'm stuck floating. Okay, so I guess the seaweed will continue your upward trajectory if you are going up, which is useful. Yeah. Okay, so you can use those to climb higher vertical areas. And notice that I'm learning this kind of stuff directly without a prompt coming up, really. The only prompts we saw were to move the camera and stuff. And see, these guys are jellyfishmen now. So I don't believe that this is just one type. I think that there's a couple different versions of these guys. But yeah, again, we're learning all kinds of stuff about the game and the mechanics, and, you know, none of it is flat out told to us. It's all conveyed, which is interesting. And I have much more respect, as I'm sure you've heard a lot of YouTubers talk about. I have much more respect for a game that can convey stuff without flat out telling you. There's a weird ambient light behind me. Oh, and this is the mask. Hello, friend. Are you still on the verge of life? Interesting. So are we kind of in some type of graveyard? We've got some kind of gargoyle-looking things. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. We've got our little friend up here. Hi, buddy. He's beckoning us on. These are... Oh! Okay. Interesting. So one of these are the guys with the face. One of them is still very much active. At least one. Very interesting. Kind of knocked the shit out of that statue. Her scarf is getting so flowy now. I really like that. Is this one gonna come to life? I hope not. Oh, there he is. So he's kind of floating around out there. I'm guessing if you run into him, you're gonna have a bad time. Okay, so he's got kind of a searchlight. Interesting. Yeah, he saw them and he's not happy about it. Oh. So he just ingested or annihilated them. One of the two. Either option's not something that we want for our little traveler here. Again, the nice sand lighting effect. So it's very interesting to me, I guess, that gotta hide. I had previously commented on the fact that there's nobody here trying to kill us or anything. But now very much there is an added level of threat. Oh, this guy's alive. So there is more than one. There's a couple different ones. Very interesting. But I commented on that previously that there was no level of threat. It was just very calm. There were no characters coming through to kill us or anything like that. But now these, I'm not sure what to call them. They fit with the theming of the underwater almost. Almost like eels or sharks. Ooh. Please don't look at me. I don't want any trouble, friend. Oh, I thought that was a noise that indicated that he had seen me. I'm not very interested, I guess, in seeing what occurs when they do catch sight of you. This is an interesting way to progress the game, I guess, and to up the stakes in a way that we don't really normally see. I guess this is almost a stealth section, trying to leave no trace of what's behind. This guy's gonna come to life. Oh, there's a piece over there. I feel like this guy's gonna come to life, though, if I go on that other side. Shoot. I guess we'll gun for it, right? If fortune favors the bold, and what do we really have to lose, I guess, aside from our existence and our life? But I have a feeling as soon as I cross this thing's vision, it's gonna come to life. Please don't exist. Please. That's what I say every Monday morning. Please don't exist. Okay. So our scarf's getting pretty shinobi-esque now, I guess is the proper term. We've got a few jumps remaining. I'm noticing now that the runes that kind of glow on our scarf, they indicate our ability to... Oh no. We are sliding. Oh no. This is bad times for me. Okay. Very interesting. So there's some type of magic or something preventing them from coming this far. Very cool. So clearly that was at least somewhat scripted, and it did not come across that way to me, which is, I mean, that means it was effective. Even if there was some intention for those guys to see you no matter what you try to do, and then be warded off by this area, it didn't come across. You know, in most games you can kind of tell where the lines are, where certain scripts are going to take place and where they're going to end, but not here. Now we're both looking to the mountain, looking at each other. Continues the story on. So I guess those guys are kind of the things that we just witnessed, based on the kind of searchlight looking eyes. Ruin overtakes the cities, sand. There's just a few of these totems left, I guess. And a lot of guys laying down at the bottom, so a lot of death, I'm guessing. Interesting. Get a couple stars aligning, or a star falling. And there's a guy with a red cloak, which there hasn't been in any of the previous ones. And of course, that looks a little familiar to us, as our traveler is the red cloak guy. Interesting. The lighting is excellent, I will say. There's a little bit anti-aliasing that I kind of would like to have seen smoothed out. If we're going to get a remaster, I'm not sure how much that's going to translate to the YouTube video after compression, but very interesting nonetheless. We've earned a trophy as well, so there you go. Just proof that I have not played this before. Interesting. Some type of vertical... Okay, so we haven't really experienced a vertical level. We've had horizontal planes to travel through, and we've had that downhill segment, but this is kind of traversing vertically. Very interesting. I keep forgetting that the movement on my controller affects the movement of the camera, so there have been multiple times where I'm fighting against the rotation that I'm actually causing. Anybody in here? Hello? These are almost cages. I guess then potentially if these are cages, then that movement of the little fabric buddies could have been literal. I thought that was just a like a way to interpret it. So we've activated that, which opens up this... Oh, okay, and there's our little friends. So they are associated with the light, I guess. I don't believe the light is meant to be electricity or anything like that, unless we've got a crazy electric scarf right now. But here again we see the lone traveler and these runes traveling through, or not runes, but totems rather. But we see that lone traveler kind of traveling through there. And there we see a very interesting effect. Let me see if I can take a look at that again. Yeah, under here, we're under a thin layer of sand, I guess. I don't believe that's supposed to be water, although it has very water-like properties when you climb out of it. But very interesting. There's just like a thick layer of fog, I guess. It's kind of dictating the ambient occlusion, rather. Anybody in here? Nothing in here. Kind of changing the way that the level looks first and foremost, but also the way that you kind of interact with it, the clarity with which you can see the rest of the level, and also, as we've mentioned, affecting the overall vibe, man. As I've mentioned many times before in our previous videos, but also in this one as well, I'm very much a gamer who is into the overall feel of a game. I'm very interested in the vibe that I get from a game, and I will forgive most things if immersion is done well. So that's... Oh, a couple of friends now. So we have a couple of travelers, and we're increasing the quote-unquote water level. There's something associated with light with that water level too as well. Yeah, so we got a couple buddies traveling. And is that the sand waterfall in the carpet pails? Could be. So it could be, you know, this was foretold of in the prophecies that we were going to come here. We'll use our friends, our octopi pals, or not octopi, but jellyfish, jelly buddies, to climb up. And I meant to show it down there, but I guess you can kind of... You may have seen it in the transition, but the light level on this pillar does not go above the quasi-light, or the... what's it called? The water level, I guess you could call it. The fake water level. Speaking of water levels, this raising of a semi-water-like material is very reminiscent of the water temple in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, so having nice flashbacks to that. And look at that guy! Is that just a trick? Real quick, we're gonna look. Two pals going and fighting the scary guys. And this guy, he's like a giant shark or something? Yeah, he's like a hammerhead shark that I can ride around. Interesting. And he's gonna break the water? That is very cool. I dig that. It's odd, instantly feeling like a connection with just a piece of fabric construed in a different way. You get an entire different feel for who he is. Interesting. Okay, cool. And we got our scarf piece. Shark friend. Shark bait, ooh ha ha. I'm guessing I'm supposed to ride with him and he's gonna peek above the water. Yeah. And yeah, this is where we're supposed to go. We have not opened this one yet. What are we gonna learn? Crossing the bridge? Yeah, so these are telling our story in a way, which is a very interesting thing. It's a matter of, has this been foretold, or is this something that we're learning? Is it just a retelling or a foretelling, I guess, is the way I want to phrase that. And here you can see the light level on that pillar does not go above the water level, I guess. And I guess I don't see any reason not to call this a water line, or refer to it as the water level, because for all intents and purposes it is. I mean, we have a literal shark kind of leading us around. He's leading us down now, which I don't think is where we want to go. I was kind of hoping he would take us... Yeah, okay, so now we're kind of going back to the surface. Cool. Continue to bring us up. We've activated those. Oh no. Starting to fall through your face there, friend. Maybe the shark is not the answer. There's our bridge. Let's try... Oh, nope. Jump. Jump. Kind of tethered to him now. That's interesting. Curious. So this is like the first part that I've been quote-unquote stumped, but I don't really think it's any fault of the game. I think I'm missing something. So here we are at our traveler. Is there something we're supposed to continue in here for? Perhaps. Nothing in here, but that kind of did boost our flying ability. And it doesn't appear that I'm losing any of this this flying ability while in the water here. I guess this is just supposed to be where I go. Sorry, I got so excited about that shark friend that I didn't want to give up on him. Ah, yes, and here's our little buddies building bridges for us. A literal bridge over troubled water. So there's some level of trust. I don't know. If we go along with the idea that those other people used these guys as a resource and then ended up having like a war or a battle over said resources, there's some level of trust still remaining between my the journeyer, the journeyman, and the little fabric guys. So maybe they're just trying to help me get to where I need to be, top of the mountain, for whatever reason. Curious. And here we are descending, so that's the sliding section, I'm guessing. This is interesting because this part almost seems to be... I'm not sure yet if it's implying that these things were foretold to happen, or if it's implying that, you know, these are the things that you've done. And that could play on the nostalgia feeling, I guess. I already feel a certain level of nostalgia for this game, having never played it before, so I can imagine on repeat playthroughs that'll be even more effective in that regard. We're going to take a look at our monolith here. I realize now that I'm not standing at the proper place to activate the cutscene. Interesting. So rather than just sitting down and getting a vision, we've got all these little lights and pieces coming to us now. And we are branded with one of these runes on our chest, so I'm not sure if this is supposed to imply the people that have come before us, or... And that guy's massive. Interesting. So there we are. Just to erase any doubt that was supposed to imply our character. And this has been our journey. I'm wondering if you run into other players in different areas. Are there two people in those areas? Yeah, because there's our two friends we had for the Sentinel area. Some wind. So I'm guessing, yeah, and then the light at the mountain. So I'm guessing this is what's to come. There's the vertical shaft on the left-hand side. So I'm guessing the next area is going to be windswept. And we're either trying to force through the wind or we're submitting to the will of the mountain. Interesting. Very cool. And we're transitioning. I'm sorry that I sound so jubilant. I don't know. I guess to a degree childlike, but this is, like I mentioned earlier, you don't get a sense of wonder like this from many games these days. I mean, you can, you know, bigger explosions in Call of Duty or you know, something to that effect, but nothing really like this. So this has been cool. We're gonna cut this off here, though. I'm guessing we're getting close to the end of the game, since we're pretty close to the mountain. So this next part may be the last part of this little mini series. I'd like to thank you guys all for coming out and hanging out. I really appreciate it, and I do hope you have a good rest of your day and a great weekend ahead of you here. Thanks once again, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.